We are lucking out with this late stretch of warmer weather in Minnesota to finish up with some of that leftover fall lawn care. It's a good weekend for homeowners to make sure their yards and homes are set up for winter. So what should you do with these few above average days? Ben Cooper, the general manager of Rainbow Treecare, joins us. Thanks for being with us this morning, Ben.
Hey, you bet, Jennifer. Thanks for having me. Yeah, like you said, we're pretty lucky to have this last warm stretch of weather after we got that snow 2 weeks ago.
No kidding. Gives us one more shot at getting some stuff done. So if I'm looking at my yard and I see a few things that need to be done, what's the best place to start?
Yeah, so let me walk you through a few of the things that we talk about with our customers at Rainbow, starting with the turf grass here. You know, we're kind of getting to the end of the season here where we can manage our turf really well. A lot of people are thinking about leaves. In this particular yard, they have most of the leaves picked up, which is a good thing. We don't want to have leaves that would smother the grass potentially. That's the biggest reason to pick them up. But another consideration is to actually leave some of the leaves, mulch them up, and they'll actually provide nutrients back into the soil as they break down. So leave some of those leaves mulched up on your turf grass over the winter.
Oh, that's interesting. I always figured, hey, we should get them all up, get them off the lawn before the snow comes. But you're saying leave a few there.
Exactly. Helps with nutrient recycling in your turf.
Okay, what about our trees and shrubs?
Yeah, so talking a little bit more about trees and shrubs. So this particular landscape has some really nice perennials with these grasses. Those are things you want to leave over the winter for some nice winter interest. But a lot of the other perennials, as you can see here, like hostas, the sedum over here, that stuff can be cut down, and it can actually remove a lot of the dead tissue and potential for disease. When we start looking at trees, you know, anytime's a good time to prune a tree. There's a certain species like oaks and elms that can only be pruned in the winter, but I look at structure and I look at health. And with this particular tree, it has a very nice structure. It's got what we call a dominant leader, nice central leader here. One thing that you could do with this plant would be to mulch, put mulch around it, but you want to keep the mulch away from the base of the tree. And you also should consider watering it in right up until the ground freezes to make sure that there's plenty of moisture for that tree next spring.
Okay, good advice. And so when we're talking about freezing, what else should we be doing in our lawn before we hit those freezing temperatures?
Sure, so a couple of final things that I would point out. Water in plumbing is always an issue, so if you have an irrigation system and you haven't had that blown out yet, make sure you do that. You should also consider turning off the spigots that are on the exterior of your house so that you don't get freezing issues back into the spigots. Another thing to think about is that this time of year, mice, as the temperatures get colder, move towards structures, warm structures, and that means they're trying to get into your house. Mice can make it through a hole the size of a pencil, believe it or not. That usually surprises people. So you can go around the outside or the inside of your basement and seal up holes with silicone caulk. And yeah, that should help keep the mice out of your house over the course of the winter. And one last thing that I point out in this house is gutters. So it's much more fun and safe to clean out your gutters when it's warm out. So take this opportunity to clean your gutters out so you don't have issues with water damage in the spring. And this homeowner actually has already hung up their Christmas lights, which I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about. So maybe take that opportunity as well.
Yeah, good day to do it. All right, you've got a good checklist for us going into this weekend. Lots to do.
For sure.
I've got to ask, have you done your yard work yet, or are you going to be joining all the folks out there this weekend?
Jennifer, you know that's the way it goes. You know, no, I still need to do all my leaf cleanup. I have a bunch of projects. So right after this, I'm going home to get that done myself.
All right, well, good luck with it, Ben. Thanks so much for all those tips for what people can do this weekend. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, Jennifer.